So well done, guys. You deserve the money.
Absolutely right. And thanks for being with us. Look forward to seeing you next time on The Chase Australia.
Tonight, COVID carriers putting lives on the line. 1 in 4 caught out away from home after they tested positive. The shock insight into why the second wave is spreading so quickly. 600 new cases in another deadly surge. Melbourne headed for tougher lockdowns. Aged care homes left empty as the last residents are evacuated. Live coverage coming up. AFL clubs hit with major fines. Wow, breaches of COVID restrictions. Exclusive, how Victoria's pensioners are being shortchanged by government loans, and see how a Melbourne radio legend signs off for the last time.
Live from Melbourne, 7 News with Blake Johnson starts now.
Good evening. It's hard to believe, but a staggering 1 in 4 COVID cases are refusing to stay home after they've tested positive. The problem has been exposed as the Army carries out door knocks across Melbourne, providing a new insight into why the virus is spreading so quickly, with 627 new cases and 8 deaths over the past 24 hours.
Dubbed the SAS of the medical world, AUSMAT nurses join the ADF to safeguard aged care homes.
Get in there and provide some on-the-ground advice.
But shocking results from the Defence Force's other role, door-knocking those who test positive. Yesterday, they made 500 visits. More than 130 were not home. 100 cases were referred to police.
And no element of this strategy will be successful if when we door knock you, we're finding 1 in 4 people not at home.
There have been people who've not been home twice in a day. That's not exercise.
The opposition wants tougher penalties, even electronic monitoring bracelets for those who test positive and leave home illegally.
We've got too many idiots with COVID who aren't following the rules, and we've got a government that's too soft to make them follow the rules.
On the second worst day of this crisis, 627 new cases. 8 people died, 2 of them in their 50s. 349 are in hospital, 37 in intensive care.
To see it not turn the corner is absolutely a cause of frustration, not least because it's not just a number. These are people's lives.
So, after crisis talks with the Prime Minister, the Premier says all data will be analysed this weekend by experts to see if we need further restrictions. It sounds ominous.
If the data says that's not enough, then we will have to take further steps.
There's 2 questions. One is it enough? And 2, are there other settings that we really need to explore?
But the Chief Health Officer is not a fan of a New Zealand-style lockdown.
At a point where they had very little community transmission and much smaller numbers. It was a different circumstance at a different time.
Well, from an epidemiological point of view, we'd just go straight to stage 4 because we have a goal of elimination and just really clamp down.
Professor Blakely admits that's unlikely, but says at least close hardware stores to all except professionals, shut down the building industry, send all school students back to remote learning, restrict food shopping to once a week locally, and re-evaluate essential workers.
That's a no-brainer. We utterly need to look at what is a definition of essential worker. It's been very loose till now.
Victorians seem resigned to further restrictions.
If it's going to be better for everyone in the long term, short-term pain, long-term gain.
We can close down more things, just keep essential services open.
The more we have those restrictions, the more nervous everyone's going to be.
A Northern Hospital emergency doctor in his 30s is now in intensive care there with COVID after screening patients. He's one of 1,030 healthcare workers with active cases, almost double yesterday's figure. All work practices are being examined, including protection.
Personal protective equipment may or may not work. It's been provided to everyone, but there's always a review of is it sufficient, is it being used properly.
So full analysis of data will determine if Victoria faces even more dark days ahead.
Contact? Hello, I'm still here.
Epidemiologists and medical experts from right around the country have spent today crunching the data. They'll work again right throughout tomorrow. They're digging deep to establish what areas have been worst hit and whether it's homes or workplaces which are presenting the greatest challenge. Now, after all the analysis, they'll go to the Premier and present their recommendations as to whether we need further restrictions or not. And we should find out what's happening next, either on Sunday or Monday, Blake.
Nick McCallum, thank you. Anti-mask protesters have clashed with police in a day of dramatic showdowns at the Shrine of Remembrance. They were arrested and fined, but still refused to wear masks, claiming the pandemic threat is exaggerated.
Arriving with an unorthodox full face covering.
What's your reason for coming here today?
Pay respect. Then bolting after police arrived. The big plastic smile was gone when he was detained nearby, but he had a loud message.
Australia, we're going to be free soon. Don't worry, democracy wins.
He was one of dozens who tried to gather at the Shrine of Remembrance around lunchtime. COVID deniers and doubters. Some were arrested and taken into custody. Police placed a mask on one man's face to protect themselves.
We were just exercising and all of a sudden all this happened.
Did you refuse to move on when asked?
No.
At dawn, almost 30 others believed to be part of a group called the Church of the United Kingdom of Australia gathered near the Eternal Flame. Police didn't wait long.
I don't perceive any lawful reason for you to be here. I'm asking you to move on. I'm asking you to do that in 2 or 3 minutes.
The group did leave without explaining their cause.
No comment.
But did explain their flag.
It's a red ensign. It's the same ensign that was carried by your Anzac at King Gallipoli.
Others tried to gather or loiter in the shrine forecourt but were questioned and fined. This man said restrictions can't be enforced.
If you don't believe that these directives are law, why are you wearing a mask?
Why? Because I just got fined up there.
He believes herd immunity should be embraced, despite the human toll.
Take the risk. This is what the world's all about, taking the risk. And the risk for this is very, very minute.
It's all lies. You need to just following it. It's all lies, and we've bought it all. It's a hoax of our lifetime.
These friends were also fined, but still refused to wear masks.
It's a sign of submission.
The mask?
Yeah. If you're sick, you wear a mask, but I'm a healthy person. I shouldn't have to wear a mask.
But you might have it and not know it.
If a disease is that deadly, I have to get tested to know if I have it, then I don't think it's that deadly.
She said too much was being banned.
I could fall off a cliff. Like, are we going to ban cliffs?
It's some time since we've seen this many breaches in the one place. 18 were given fines here at the Shrine today. That's $1,652 because they didn't stay home when they should. 2 of them were arrested for not handing over their name and address, and police say that now they will work to identify dozens who were at that dawn gathering here because they want to fine them too. Blake?
Paul, thank you. The last remaining residents are being moved out of the nursing home at the epicentre of the aged care crisis. It's happening as we go to air. Chanel Vella is tracking developments. Chanel, this facility will be left empty.
That's right. 7 News understands that what prompted this mass evacuation was several workers here who tested positive to COVID-19. All of these residents will now be taken to hospital and they will be cared for there. But all day, ambulances as well as patient transport vehicles have been coming and going from St Basil's here. We're told by midnight there will no longer be any residents left here. But of course all of this is going on while families of aged care residents have been lifting the lid on the horrors they faced. Connie Troppier knew there was going to be a COVID outbreak at Epping Gardens aged care home.
What we're seeing in the facility was horrific. There was no staff. There was no one to attend my dad's needs.
Worried for her father Sam, she and her sister moved into the facility.
The last 2 weeks of my dad's life, we became his carers. We bathed my dad, we fed him, we changed him.
Ms Troppier made numerous complaints to the home and to government, but staff numbers continued to dwindle.
The way they decided how the rosters were going to be done is that they had 2 bowls, that names went in one bowl and shifts went into the other bowl. that their higher management took out a name, pulled out a shift and said, OK, you're doing this shift.
The facility is now linked to 115 cases. Colin Cohen's mother was moved out, but he's still battling with them.
All of her belongings are in here. I just want to get them out.
John Jasinski's 95-year-old father has tested positive. He's trying to get him out.
I think there is a lot of cover-ups and it's brushed under the carpet. No one's saying anything or doing anything about it, so they're protecting their staff pretty well.
A video from inside Epping Gardens shows the neglect. A resident wandering the halls confused, searching for his clothes. The positive cases across facilities are staggering and still growing. 928 active cases linked to aged care across 94 facilities. St Basil's remains our biggest outbreak with 124 cases, 78 in residents, 35 in staff and 11 close contacts. In Essendon at Menorock, it's 63 cases across 19 residents, 25 staff and 19 contacts, while the 58 COVID cases at Glendale in the west are spread between 29 residents, 20 staff and 9 contacts. There are hopes a new rapid 60-minute test could bring those numbers down.
It's really important for use in our critically unwell patients and also helps us manage that patient in a safe environment and protect our healthcare workers.
And soon, former airline cabin crew could find themselves grounded in aged care.
These are the type of people who have the type of skills that we're looking for to aid in training more in the coming months, because this is a long road, not a short road.
For these patients, their COVID fight now moves to hospital. Chanel Vella, 7 News.
A 65-year-old woman has appeared in court after trying to sneak into South Australia hidden in a truck. She'd spent several weeks in Victoria before trying to smuggle herself home. The stowaway pleaded guilty and was put on a good behaviour bond. The truckie was also questioned. There's a rush on for Sydney-siders to get across the Queensland border before it shuts to residents of the New South Wales capital at midnight. 17 extra flights were added as demand doubled. Not everyone is making it through. 49 passengers were turned around, including one with false declaration.
So that person was fined $4,000 and turned around and sent back to Sydney for their trouble.
Thousands more are going across the border on the ground at the Gold Coast. The AFL has come down hard on 4 Melbourne clubs, fining them almost $200,000 for hub breaches. Tom Brown broke the story. Tom, these are major sanctions for some minor breaches.
Blake, the AFL's gone as far as to warn clubs tonight any future hub breaches this season could be met with a loss of premiership points, but massive fines tonight, as you mentioned, for Hawthorn, Carlton, North and Richmond. For Hawthorn, $50,000. Some non-selected players bought food at a game outside the designated area. For Carlton, $45,000. A couple of kids were taken by grandparents to a theme park. North, $45,000. Families attended a game. It had AFL approval, I think, at one stage. Richmond, $45,000. A wife went to a day spa. They look innocent transgressions, Blake, but any positive cases within these hubs could cost the AFL hundreds of millions of dollars and end the season. So the AFL is under pressure from the Queensland government to have come down hard, and they have. And an insight tonight I can give you on how these isolation hubs are no holiday. The AFL has restricted alcohol access in the isolation hub. You can't order it in through Coles, for example. You certainly can't consume it in your room, only in a designated area between 5 and 10 at night. It's capped at bar prices and capped at 4 drinks. This is no holiday. The AFL's reined this whole program right in, the emphasis on the licence to play football, Blake.
It was a sorry end to the month for Australian shares, closing out July with their worst day in over a month. Network finance editor Gemma Acton joins us now. Gemma, what was behind today's sell-off?
Well, Blake, the share market has proved remarkably resilient to much of the bad news we've seen in recent weeks. But today, fears about the economy and rising coronavirus cases won out. The ASX 200 dropped by 123 points, or 2%, with large losses across all major industries. AMP led the declines. Its share price fell by 12.8% after a profit warning. But the Aussie dollar managed to hold its nerve. Earlier today, our currency was buying 72.2 US cents. And despite today's heavy losses, we have still seen Aussie shares rise during the month of July, finishing slightly higher for the 4th straight month in a row of gains. Blake.
Gemma Acton, thank you. There are claims pensioners are being ripped off under a program designed to help them. Seniors groups are now calling for an overhaul to the pension loan scheme to help our older citizens and our economy.
Australian retirees have billions of dollars in equity locked up in their homes, which many want to unlock.
That would be a massive stimulus for the economy.
They can do it through the government's pension loan scheme.
The rate is too high at 4.5, especially when the government can borrow money at less than 0.5%.
Australian seniors want that rate cut so more retirees can use the government reverse mortgage scheme to supplement their income, converting home equity into fortnightly payments. Single retirees who borrow up to $33,000 a year, $1,300 a fortnight. Couples borrowing $51,000, $2,000. But the 4.5% interest rate is way above mortgage rates between 2% and 3% and start-up rates as low as 1.98%.
Anybody that has a rate of 4% or higher, in fact, even 3% or higher, I would recommend look for a better value.
The government has cut the rate once in January and says it is lower than bank rates for reverse mortgages, but Labor says it should be much lower.
It's simply unconscionable that the government would seek to make a profit out of pensioners who are doing it tough.
The Treasurer says he's already cut the deeming rate for pensioners and provided two $750 stimulus payments.
We have various payments and various interest rates that are set,
suggesting this rate won't be reset. Mark Riley, 7 News.
A very special Melbourne partnership has come to an end, and with that comes a change to the morning routine for thousands of Victorians who listen to radio. John Burns, one half of 3RW's long-standing breakfast show, has recorded his final broadcast.
Previously, I've been the luckiest bloke in the world to be put on air with the best broadcaster in the world. Oh, you absolute legend.
19 and a half years in the chair, John Burns signs off with the help of co-host and mate Ross Stevenson.
It's been amazing, Burnso. Let's go and have a drink. It's 8:30.
It is the end of a powerhouse duo of Australian radio. They won almost every rating survey, missing out on just one in the early days. Waking up with Melbourne.
7 after 7, Riverfold time.
Burnso was in the studio at 4:45. He turned 75 yesterday.
Everything has been fine, thank you. The food's excellent.
Burnso's replacement is Russell Howcroft. So from Monday morning, it won't be Ross and John. Instead, Ross and Russell on 3RW Breakfast.
What's the measurement from here to a bottle of champagne? Is it about 21 steps?
Till we meet once again.
Well done to Burnso and enjoy the sleep-ins.
Indeed.
Jack, you're here with sport. A big roo's been dropped.
He has, Blake, yes. Reece Shaw has made a statement with Ben Brown. Hear from the coach shortly. Also, we've got inside access to the Gold Coast for the Bombers' big clash with the Lions tonight. It's the wild, wild west, but Hawthorn has felt most of the scoreboard pain against Carlton. And King James marks his territory in the NBA restart. And Blake, we've also got exclusive breaking news on one of the biggest stars in the AFL. I'll see you soon.
See you soon, Jack. Thank you. Up next, a message from Melbourne's Muslim community. The plea from the Premier to help save lives. Plus, why Donald Trump is pushing to put his moment of truth on hold. The Aussie helping to lead the latest mission to find life in space. And how Victorians are buying their way into Queensland.
We have the spark, and I really want to make that a flame.
I might have kissed someone.
What?
Can I just have a minute, please?
You're scaring me. I don't know how to fix this. I beg you, don't run away from me.
A farmer will make one of the most important decisions of his life. New farmer wants a wife. Sunday on 7.
Service. It makes all the difference when insuring your business. It's taking the time to understand what you do, recommend the right solutions, and support you every step when you need to make a claim. At Insurance Risk Solutions, we work for you, not the insurer, and we always will. Search Insurance Risk Solutions and contact Dwight and the team to discuss your insurance requirements today.
The Buff Club, your favourite watering hole, is back with the best entertainment, including trivia, bingo and Friday night raffles. Plus a brand new menu with tasty specials every day. Support the club that supports you. Come on down, have a good time and relax at the Buff Club.
I love the Ross Faulkner One Touch, the ultimate training aid to develop the fundamentals of my game. Available at any level, men's, women's or juniors. Train anywhere, anytime. Get your One Touch now at rossfaulkner.com.
At Harvey Norman, purchase any TV valued at $1,500 or more and get 5% back in Harvey Norman gift cards. Like this Hisense 75-inch 4K smart TV, only $1,895. Or the Sony Bravia 65-inch X1 Ultimate Android smart TV for under $3,000. Or why not indulge in this hot Samsung 75-inch QLED TV? Purchase any TV valued at $1,500 or more and get 5% back in Harvey Norman gift cards. Ends Sunday at Harvey Norman.
Head to the Troppo Pool Shop for complete pool services, pool equipment, cleaners, free water testing, all at their new Yarrawonga home. Open 7 days. It's time to cool off, so visit us now.
When quality counts, call multi-award-winning Brilliant Kitchens and Interiors for all your joinery and cabinet making needs. Locally owned and operated, they've been nationally recognised for their high standard of work. Is your kitchen a brilliant kitchen?
The commute might be longer, the roads might be unpaved, but when Australian miners go to work, they're making every day possible for the rest of us. Because Australian minerals power the world, helping save lives and welcoming new ones, harvesting the food that sustains us, the transportation that moves us, and the devices we can't live without. There's more to Territory Mining.
Melbourne's Muslim community is being urged to hold the line and put COVID celebrations ahead of COVID restrictions ahead of one of its holiest events across the weekend. The Premier has sent a message to Muslims calling on them to stick to lockdown rules and promising they won't be targeted unfairly.
A clear directive from the government on how to celebrate one of the holiest days of the Islamic calendar.
Assalamu alaikum. I want to send my best wishes to every family across Victoria celebrating Eid al-Adha in very different circumstances. This is no ordinary year. We have a global pandemic.
Eid al-Adha is typically marked with family gatherings and visits to the mosque, but Muslims in Melbourne are this year being warned to stay home.
To keep both members of their community and indeed the entire community safe, it needs to look very different this year.
So, in keeping with lockdown rules, many Muslims connected online. Before gathering with those in their household to pray and share a meal.
They have to be a positive part of community. They have to be a good example. This is a duty of all of us.
While police are coming down hard on anyone breaking the COVID-19 rules, the Premier insists members of the Muslim community won't be the target of discrimination.
We police everybody equally and fairly, and it doesn't matter what motivates anybody, what the cause of breaking the rules might be. Everybody will be policed fairly and equally.
Jodie Lee, 7 News.
Just 3 months from voting day, Donald Trump has suggested the US presidential election could be postponed. He's battling polls that are going down as fast as COVID cases go up, and the suggestion has been widely condemned.
An early morning tweet suggesting a late election. The president asking whether he should delay the November poll until people can properly, securely and safely vote.
What will happen in November? It's a mess.
Donald Trump claiming any result would be delayed.
I don't want to be waiting around for weeks and months and literally, potentially, if you really did it right, years, because you'll never know.
And that mail-in ballots are vulnerable to fraud and foreign interference.
Everyone knows it. Smart people know it. Stupid people may not know it.
All while he knows he doesn't have the power to change the date. The Constitution decrees only Congress can, and it never has.
Few elections have been as urgent on so many levels as this one.
Democrats are accusing the president of simply trying to distract from economic news out today that America's just suffered its worst 3-month collapse on record. The president hitting back, accusing Democrats of intentionally keeping the economy shut down to cost him re-election.
They're looking at November 3rd. And probably a day later, they'll say, let's open up the country.
In Washington, D.C., Ashley Mullaney, 7 News.
A monster blaze has ripped through an apartment block in Pennsylvania. Dozens of residents were forced to escape as flames engulfed several blocks of the 3-storey building. At least 4 people have been injured. NASA has launched a new mission to find evidence of life in space. The latest space rover, Perseverance, is now heading towards Mars at 40,000 kilometres an hour, with an Aussie leading the team that could provide the vital clue.
0. Release.
Liftoff in a new search for life on Mars.
The perseverance of humanity launching the next generation of robotic explorers to the Red Planet.
Beginning its 7-month, 480 million kilometre journey, Australian astrobiologist Abigail Allwood, part of the mission.
This has been, our lives have been consumed by this, all of the whole family, for the last several years. And to think that it's now on the way to another planet is just, it's surreal.
Perseverance will focus on a crater once an ancient lake. The car-sized rover fully loaded to explore with cameras, probes, drills. Abigail responsible for Pixel, which will study the chemistry of rocks and soil for telltale signs of fossilised microbes.
The clues are in the rocks, the clues to the past processes and environments and any biology that might have lived on planet Mars in the past would be in the rocks.
So is this the instrument that will answer the question, was there life on Mars?
I hope it will play a significant role in contributing to that answer.
Software being developed at the Queensland University of Technology will be analysing the data it sends back. The rover also has a tiny helicopter to survey the landscape, microphones so we can hear what Mars sounds like. It will try to make oxygen from the Martian air, all steps towards humans heading to Mars as early as the 2030s. When Perseverance arrives at Mars in February, it will not be alone. There's a probe from the United Arab Emirates and a rover from China already on their way for their own Red Planet rendezvous. Giant leaps to answer big questions. In the United States, Paul Kadak, 7 News.
Our pubs are trapped in new COVID confusion. Up next, they've been served up different rules for different pubs and they're desperate for a fair go. Why Facebook and Google are facing a hit. The new 10-minute treatment that could save you from one of our biggest killers. And the 20-year murder mystery still haunting police.
As major new developments unfold in Madeleine McCann's disappearance.
Investigators breaking ground as they search for Madeleine McCann.
Monday, the new investigation.
There's a missing child still out there.
Major new revelations.
He was there.
All leading to one key person. Now we can reveal all the details.
He was responsible for Madeleine's disappearance.
Madeleine McCann, the hunt for the prime suspect. Monday, 9:30 on 7.
Looking to gently cleanse skin and effectively remove makeup? Try Garnier Micellar Cleansing Water from Chemist Warehouse. Like a magnet, micelles capture and lift away dirt, oil and makeup without harsh rubbing, leaving skin perfectly clean and refreshed without over-drying. Garnier Micellar Cleansing Water 400ml is $6.97. Also discover the new and exclusive Garnier Organics range at Chemist Warehouse. Live, look, feel fabulous every day at Chemist Warehouse.
We help you remember the little things that are important to your family. We help you celebrate their lives the way you want. Territory Funerals, caring for you and your family.
All pet owners, great and small, need to be responsible. This brings many rewards. Obedience training and exercise will reduce nuisance behaviour. Desexing makes for healthier pets and stops attempts to get out and mate. Registration and microchipping mean a lost pet is back home quicker. Great pets start with you.
New lots are now available at Mitchell Creek Green Zircoli, a tranquil setting close to natural parkland, a few minutes from Palmerston City and the Stewart Highway. Walking distance to shops, parks and nearby schools, Mitchell Creek Green offers the convenience of a quiet community. If it's your first home, downsizing or upsizing to your dream lifestyle, Mitchell Creek Green has land available now at affordable prices. Ask about our new stage release now. Contact us today to join our community.
Australia, the Little Treehouse is alive at Coles. Follow Andy, Jill and Terry and their adventures in 24 new exclusive Coles Little Treehouse books and an astounding, expanding treehouse. A free Coles Little Treehouse book is yours with every $30 you spend at Coles and Coles Express. Every book has an amazing story to bring your imagination to life. Collect all 24 Coles Little Treehouse books. Coles, good things, great value.
Is your home crim safe? The next few months are NT's highest home break-in periods. Protect your property with CrimSafe, the strongest security screen on the market. Be CrimSafe. Call Dabsco now.
Can't wait for the next episode of Between Two Worlds? Go to 7 Plus right now or watch it Sunday on 7.
From today, Geelong residents can't have friends or family over to their homes, yet they can meet them at the pub. It's left many confused and some communities seeking the same arrangement to help their struggling businesses get back on their feet.
As Melbourne pub and restaurant owners struggle through their toughest year, just an hour away, it's almost business as usual.
Oh, just maybe envious of Geelong pubs and Geelong people. I'm a pub operator, but I'm also a pub consumer. I'd love to be in Geelong going out for a beer with my mates too.
I guess good luck to them, and if I could get to the pub I'd be there as well, but we're in this situation, so we'll just follow the rules.
Another outer-lying area is envious. Mornington Peninsula's mayor is now calling for the same freedom as those across the bay.
It'd be a real encouragement, recognising the great work our community's done to keep our numbers so low. And it'd give us some real hope.
In the meantime, businesses are now doing everything they can to survive.
People keep coming in and buying takeaways, and we're doing food and we're doing tap beer, which is something that I think people miss from being able to get at the pub.
And just offer a bespoke buying opportunity for people who, one, might not want to go to the markets or the supermarkets because of the crowds, and one-stop shop for meat, fish, wine, beer.
Mr Austin is expecting the worst in the next few days, what could become Melbourne's Stage 5.
It feels a little bit inevitable.
Times have been tough during the second lockdown here along Chapel Street. Business is down by as much as 95%, with many bars and pubs relying on takeaway service to survive.
There can be no economic recovery until we deal with this public health challenge.
And once that happens...
Come back, we're waiting. We'll be here with open arms.
Cassie Zervos, 7 News.
Nursing reinforcements are on their way to Victoria to help at the front line of our COVID crisis.
We are all very nervous. We don't really know what the situation is over there, but we have a beautiful planning team over there as well that's working very, very hard to assist us.
They'll stay for a fortnight before returning home for the same period in quarantine. Google and Facebook could be forced to pay hundreds of millions of dollars for publishing free content produced by traditional media. Tech giants have been raking in billions and are now being asked to pay their fair share.
It's something many of us do every day. Here's something interesting, then Google News for more information. Easy, effective, but contentious. With millions of users, it's claimed Google and Facebook are making huge profits without paying a cent for news content.
Australia's online advertising market is worth more than $9 billion a year.
Over 70% of that goes to the tech giants. Today, a draft bargaining code was released. ACCC Chair Rod Sims saying,
"This is a move whose time has come."
Parties would get 3 months to negotiate a fair deal for outfits like
7 West Media, News Corp, 9 Entertainment Limited.
If not, it goes to compulsory arbitration. Google doesn't like it, claiming the government's heavy-handed intervention threatens to impede Australia's digital economy. But the government is serious, saying a healthy media sector is vital.
Non-compliance with the code will attract significant penalties.
That could be hundreds of millions of dollars. Seven West Media welcoming what it called an important step in creating further momentum towards ensuring we are fairly remunerated for our significant investment. The ACCC will now seek feedback by the end of August. Legislation could follow shortly after, with payments flowing to media companies within 6 months of the code becoming law. Miley Hogan, 7 News.
An Australian pilot has been detained on suspicion of drug trafficking after a crash in Papua New Guinea. The plane's wreckage found close to a makeshift runway near Port Moresby. The aircraft left far north Queensland on Sunday but was not cleared to enter the country. Police say a criminal group helped the pilot remove the drugs before trying to set it on fire. 2 police officers have risked their lives to rescue a horse from a burning barn. They roped the animal and pulled it out as the flames took hold.
Come on, boy. Come on, out. Give me a rope. Give me a rope. Help us pull. Help us pull. Help us. Help us pull. Come on.
Wow, 8 people were hurt in the fire. An extraordinary medical treatment has saved the life of a mother battling heart disease. Doctors have worked out how to use a 10-minute cancer treatment to fix faulty hearts without surgery.
Sherilee McMahon's heart was shutting down. Doctors told the 54-year-old and her husband she was at the end of the road.
I said to him many times, I totally understand if you want to go and, you know, like split up so you can carry on with your life, etc. He said, no, when I married you, it was in sickness and in health, and I meant that.
Sherilee has a condition called ventricular tachycardia. Abnormal electrical currents make her heart beat too fast. Surgery was too risky, but Australian doctors discovered a new concept. Radiation that kills tumours could kill these electrical faults.
And the treatment only takes about 10 to 20 minutes to finish.
With cancer treatment specialists at Genesis Care, Sherilee's doctors decided to try something that had only been done on 5 people around the world.
Sherilee was in a circumstance where we didn't really have much to offer her.
New hope for all heart patients and Sherilee.
It was like we were not married.
Amber Johnston, 7 News.
The murder of 2 policemen more than 20 years ago still haunts the force, with claims that lessons from the slayings haven't been learnt. Details just ahead. Plus, proof Victorians are trying to escape the pandemic by moving north. And caught in the act, a man charged with trespass for taking a dip at an aquarium.
You won't believe what they're trying to sneak through our border.
I'm not attempting to traffic anything.
Aussie Border Security, Sunday on Mate.
And it don't matter from where you come, there's nothing like being around Palmerston.
This magnificent aircraft is a PC-24 and it's the latest in the fleet for our Royal Flying Doctor. It shows confidence in us, the Northern Territory, and another huge commitment by the RFDS. Charlie, another huge investment into our Northern Territory by our Royal Flying Doctor. Tell us a little bit about the aircraft.
Well, what we've got here, Wayne, is the world's first purpose-built aeromedical jet. And we say that because it's the only aeromedical jet in the world that has been designed from the ground up and built in a factory specifically for this one purpose as the ultimate flying intensive care unit. But this has been designed specifically to be able to retrieve a critically ill patient on a remote dirt airstrip, but equally take a patient out of a large hospital and transport them from one side of the country to the other in an intensive care environment. And a distinct feature of this jet is it's the only aeromedical jet in the country which has a rear patient loading door. Now, all of our aircraft have that rear patient loading door, but this also has a built-in automated stretcher loader device, which means that we can more safely, more quickly move that patient into the aircraft but also it's safe for our clinicians and the patient from a clinical point of view as well, so that we're looking after our patient and we're looking after our clinicians, so we get off the ground quicker, safer to where they need to be. We rely on the community for their support to purchase and medically equip our aircraft, just like the one here. We're delighted to have announced that S. Kidman & Co has extended its jet partnership of the RFDS for another 4 years.
So there you go, that's our Royal Flying Doctor investing into our Northern Territory, and we'll see you around Palmerston.
ntHomeImprovements.com.au for property maintenance and renovation. 15 years experience of interior and exterior painting. Professional and friendly service from a local family business. ntHomeImprovements.com.au.
Territory Butchers, quality meats from quality Australian suppliers in the quantities you want. Cooked and smoked meats to order, now delivering to Darwin, Palmerston Airport and Barge. Cafe open to 8 p.m. Call or order online at territorybutchers.com.
Crack the case with Martin Shaw.
I have told you all I can.
But not all you know. Inspector George Gently. Monday on 7/2.
The murders more than 20 years ago of 2 Victorian policemen continue to haunt the force. The corruption watchdog says the type of misconduct involved in that investigation is still happening now and were even taught at the police academy.
Damning revelations. Some police officers tainted the Silk Miller murder investigation, and there is a real risk that misconduct is still happening.
What they're saying is it's still going on today, and that's terrible.
The IBAC report tabled in Parliament today states not enough was done to ensure police followed proper procedures for gathering evidence and disclosing it in court. Key witness statements were backdated, contaminated, even shredded.
It's appalling conduct. It's a complete abuse of the legal process.
The investigation found some of the improper practices were actually taught at the police academy. The force claims this has now stopped, but IBAC cited recent cases where notes were fabricated and evidence was withheld. The corruption watchdog has now made 2 recommendations: that Victoria Police review procedures for gathering and disclosing evidence, and that the state government imposes a new law to compel officers to do the right thing. In a statement, Victoria Police said it accepts the 2 recommendations made by IBAC that will address any risk of such practices continuing. Christy Mayer, 7 News.
Victorians are going to extreme lengths to escape the COVID crisis. There's a surge in people leaving our state to move to Queensland, snapping up properties without viewing them.
Virtual tours are becoming the norm amid COVID-19.
Media room to the side here.
Changing the way agents sell homes and who they're selling them to.
Last weekend alone, we sold 9 properties over the weekend to people who had not even seen the property.
Buyers from Melbourne and now Sydney who may not be able to visit the Gold Coast but can plan their future here.
People are now just saying, you know what, this is probably a way of life now. This is a highly risked situation, me living in urban central city marketplaces,
and basically buying it off the plan from Melbourne. So I see that trend is going to be a tick up.
Large apartments and townhouses are in high demand, and so are properties on acreage.
Some feel that they'll even be safer with some acreage and distance from neighbours.
It's backed up by new data from Movil, a company that connects people with removalists. It's found Sydney-siders are leading the mass exodus, making up 30% of interstate migrators. Melbourne was next with 27%. Most were seeking to move to the Sunshine State, but the Gold Coast Mayor isn't surprised. In fact, he's rolling out the welcome mat.
It will broaden the base of our economy. I don't mind, let's brain drain them.
A period where you might have expected things to soften, we've actually strengthened enormously.
On the Gold Coast, Amanda Abate, 7 News.
A man who plunged into an aquarium at Sydney Zoo has found himself in hot water, issued a court attendance notice by police. The 30-year-old was filmed diving into the tank earlier this week. He swam with startled fish and his friends posted the video to social media. He's due in court in September, facing several charges, including trespass. That'll be a costly swim, I reckon. Sports next with Jackie Felgate. Jack, an AFL superstar, has said no thanks to Victorian clubs.
Yeah, probably not the best time to come here, Blake. They were lining up to lure him, though, but he's put pen to paper on a new monster deal. Exclusive details are next. Plus, we're live to the Gold Coast for the Bombers' biggest test of the season. Ben Brown, the latest casualty at the Roos, will have all the team selection news. The Blues make a red-hot start against the Hawks out west. All the highlights coming up. And the NBA bubble bursts as the Stars hit the court for a grand return to action.
We have the spark, and I really want to make that a flame.
I might have kissed someone.
What?
Can I just have a minute, please?
You're scaring me. I don't know how to fix this. Beg you, don't run away from me.
A farmer will make one of the most important decisions of his life. New farmer wants a wife. Sunday on 7.
There's been a lot of uncertainty and changes this year, and Darwin is adjusting to the new normal. And that means a makeover for one of the Territory's most iconic events. The Darwin Lions Beer Can Regatta is now the Darwin Lions Mini Regatta right here at the Darwin waterfront. The wonderful watercraft will take to our outer recreation lagoon. On shore, the emphasis is on kids' activities with all the favourites like sandcastle competitions, thong throwing and running races. All the fun gets underway this Sunday right here at the Darwin waterfront. There'll be lots of activities from 10 a.m, plenty of kids' entertainment, and despite the restrictions, there's going to be a lot of action right on the water here at the Darwin waterfront. If you've made it to the top end, one of our best attractions is the more than 40 giant murals painted on buildings in the inner city. The newest addition in the Darwin Street Art Festival is almost complete. Take a walk this weekend and check out this awesome new artwork in Shadforth Lane. The Darwin Street Art Festival aims to present a new mural every fortnight until September. It's a Northern Territory government-funded initiative supported by Activate Darwin. This weekend, the precinct presents ISO Breakout Beats, music all weekend, Spit Roast specials and a whole lot of action right here on the lawns. The perfect weather won't last forever, and the last long weekend of the year is all the excuse you need to party and chill out on the precinct lawns. And don't forget Darwin's premier racing with the Darwin Cup is on next Monday. We look forward to seeing you trackside. That's the Buzz in Darwin and the top end for another week. See you soon.
If you're feeling crappy or low in energy and you don't know why, I want to give you the tools to achieve the happiness that you deserve. Now's the time to listen. Search Crappy to Happy podcast. It's free on Podcast One Australia.
Podcast One.
Ratatouille Bistro at Nightcliff Sports Club. Enjoy delicious Tuesday schnitzel night. Wednesday is steak night. Thursday and Saturday, Lava Rock night. With our local courtesy bus at Nightcliff Sports Club for lunch and dinner.
Welcome back. A stunning second quarter blitz has Hawthorn eyeing off an upset against Carlton in the West. The Hawks trailed by 19 points at the first break before slamming on 6 unanswered goals to lead by 13 points at half-time.
The AFL breaking new ground with Friday night footy in the sunshine, but it was a familiar start for the struggling Hawks.
Frost, did he take them on? He did.
The Blues red hot in Perth. 11 first quarter disposals for Patrick Cripps, 5 straight goals to Carlton, and the warning signs were there for Alistair Clarkson.
Oh, Newnes has kicked a goal! Jack the goal sneak!
It took one of the Hawks' youngest to get them going.
And it's the perfect shape to brighten up Hawthorn's day, and they needed it.
Back from a broken jaw, Luke Bruce narrowed the margin to 3 goals at the first break. That was quickly back out to 4 when Levi Casbolt slotted his second, but there's some class left in these ageing Hawks.
He has got the distance, and he has got the accuracy.
accuracy as well. And while this may be a mid-season game, it's a huge one as far as Alistair Clarkson and Hawthorn are concerned in 2020.
And suddenly it was Hawthorn's midfield dominating.
And Isaac Smith can kick his second in the corner. And the Hawks have hit the front.
Andrew McCormack, 7 News.
A superstar forward has turned his back on Victorian clubs. Tom Brown is on the Gold Coast with exclusive details. Tom, Charlie Cameron will be a Lion for life.
Jack, that's right. Charlie Cameron, probably the most exciting and best small forward in the game. He's 26. He's recommitted tonight officially to the Lions for 5 years. I've previously reported that Carlton and North were both ready to pounce if Cameron didn't recommit. But in another boost for the Lions, who are flying, Cameron has recommitted tonight for 5 years. He sat down with Seven's Luke Hodge. That interview exclusively on Seven's footy coverage after the news tonight. Make sure you watch that. Essendon tonight, meantime, might face the Lions at precisely the right time. They're without McStay and Rich, two gun players. I spoke to Mark Harvey just moments ago.
They've made, 5 changes, so have we. So there's all sorts of dynamics that you look at in the lead up to these games. But obviously, this is the Lions are mature. They've been around for a couple of years now, in around the top 4. So we'd like to think we're not too far away.
Jack, the latest teams for Geelong, no change. Jack Stephen left out again. Jeremy McGovern misses again for the Eagles. Josh Battle at St Kilda replaces Dean Kent, who's sick. Bryce Gibbs in for the Crows, just his second game of the year. Dylan Shield back tonight. Speaking of upsets, looking at Hawthorn there, Jack. Essendon, a big chance here at Metricon tonight.
OK, thank you very much, Tom. North Melbourne coach Rhys Shaw says Ben Brown's poor on-field form gave him no choice but to drop the struggling key forward. Brown and his wife Hester recently revealed they tragically lost one of their unborn twins. The key forward has kicked just 8 goals so far this year.
It's obviously been a tough period for him off the field, but he just hasn't been getting the results, and we feel as though this is just the right time for him to step out of the side.
Brown will be replaced by Majak Daw up against Adelaide. Midfielder Jared Pollock has also been dropped despite a season-high 25 disposals in the loss to Carlton. Demons defender Stephen May didn't hold back after the side's demoralising 51-point loss to Port Adelaide. Players cooled off in Maroochydore this morning, with coach Simon Goodwin labelling it the worst performance of the year.
We're going to cop a whack for that, and we deserve it. Us as players are, I'm pretty pissed off still. It's not good enough.
Tonight's unacceptable. We let ourselves down tonight, collectively as a group.
Clayton Oliver can accept a $1,000 fine for striking. The D's will now hit the road for 2 games in Adelaide against the Crows and the Kangaroos. Ash Barty won't be swayed by criticism of her decision to withdraw from the US Open. The world number 1 is in Cairns, encouraging kids, and says her health and family are her main focus.
I'm very lucky to be able to play tennis as a profession and as a sport and as for a living, but I know that there are some bigger things in life that I need to look after first, and for me that's a priority.
Fellow Aussie John Millman will play at the US Open, while Barty is yet to decide if she'll defend her French Open title when it's held in September. And the NBA has returned with a bang. Players kneeled for the national anthem to support Black Lives Matter before the King, LeBron James, reintroduced himself in the Lakers' 103-101 win over the Clippers.
LeBron James gives the Lakers the lead.
This is a good start tonight. It's great to have the NBA back, and I hope our fans are proud of us tonight.
Joe Ingles played his 369th consecutive game for the Jazz. The Aussies scored 13 points in their 2-point win over New Orleans. And Luke Hodge will be chatting exclusively with Charlie Cameron Blake before the Lions and the Bombers clash. Of course, all live and free on 7 from 7:30.
Exciting, Jackie, and happy birthday.
Thank you.
What's on for your night?
Doing the football.
That's
I
it.
just had a pizza actually in between. Very nice.
Enjoy. All right. We're in a pattern of cold mornings but sunny days. Melina joins us now. Mel, how's the weekend looking?
Well, Blake, there will be plenty of more sunshine this weekend. I'll have all the details next.
Your new escape is here.
It's beautiful.
With relaxing dream getaways.
I can see myself here at home.
New Escape to the Country, Saturday on 7 too.
At Harvey Norman, get 60 months interest free and receive a bonus gift card up to the value of $500. Make your home beautiful with our range of Australian-made furniture and bedding. Lounge and dining furniture with options to customise fabric, leather, size and shape. Trusted Australian-made mattress brands and bedroom furniture created to suit your style. We're open, so come in store and support Australian-made. Get 60 months interest free and receive a bonus gift card valued at up to $500. Now at Harvey Norman.
Go! Conservation is really a balance between preservation and development, so it's about sensible development. The gas exploration we've seen on our place looks to me like sensible development. I've got a degree in natural resources. We've got 5 kids and we wouldn't be allowing this sort of activity on our land if we had any doubt about its safety and about the security of our future in the cattle industry.
Authorised by Kay Knudsen, APA Limited, Darwin.
At First National Real Estate, we put you first in good times and bad times. We always put first things first, and that's you. Call your local First National office today. We put you first.
What are you doing this weekend? Just the usual.
Dometic CFF 45 fridge freezer save $120. 30% off all footwear by Crocs and Teva. Play more, pay less.
The Buff Club, your favourite watering hole, is back with the best entertainment, including trivia, bingo and Friday night raffles. Plus a brand new menu with tasty specials every day. Support the club that supports you. Come on down, have a good time and relax at the Buff Club.
Arafura Pest Control have been beating the bugs since 2011. Territory born and bred technicians using state-of-the-art equipment will beat the bugs in and around your home. If the bugs come back, they'll come back. Arafura Pest Control.
Stop by Fiddler's for a fantastic $15 lunch meal available 7 days with nightly specials including Sunday roast, open Monday to Fridays from 9 a.m. and Saturday and Sunday from 8 a.m. All day dining including homemade desserts. Fiddler's Green is the perfect place to dine in Darwin.
Hi, can I have a strong skim latte? Strong skim latte, please.
Sorry, could you repeat that, please? Sir, did you say strong skim latte?
Yeah, medium, please.
When only drive-through will do. We'll be here.
You may not be able to travel the world right now, but these flavours are about to take you there.
This dish is Vietnam.
It's being able to travel the world without moving from my seat.
Yeah.
Oh. This is the World Cup of cooking.
Plate of origin.
There's a reason we say nobody knows Melbourne.
The situation remains dire.
Like 7 News.
ADF personnel.
Coronavirus deaths, how they treat them.
Melbourne's best team.
Social distancing.
We have to do the right thing.
Our job is to report to you, for you, every night.
Nobody knows news like 7.
Hello again. We're in a pattern of frosty morning and sunny days. The city began on a low of 3.4 degrees. That came at 6 o'clock this morning and we made it to a lovely top of 17. Outside now in the city it is 13 degrees, staying clear tonight with light northerly winds. There was plenty of sunshine around the suburbs. It got to 17 in Werribee, 16 in Geelong, Essendon and Watsonia, 14 degrees at Cranbourne. Patchy fog and widespread frost was observed across much of the state this morning, but it cleared off to a mostly sunny day, aside from some patchy high cloud, which increased throughout the afternoon. A number of areas plunged into the negatives overnight, but plenty of sunshine allowed our maximum temperatures to rebound well above the average for this time of year. Mildura made it to 18 degrees. It was 15 in Bendigo, 13 at Ballarat. Taking a look at the satellite, these sunny conditions are thanks to a large high pressure system sitting over northeastern Victoria. Victoria. That will linger throughout tomorrow, while a cold front approaches the state from the west. That'll reach the southwest coast later in the day. The front will then weaken as it moves further across southern parts of Victoria during Sunday morning. A stronger cold front is expected on Monday. So our chilly mornings and sunny days continue this weekend, but there is a dramatic change on the way. We see a front move up from the south, and that'll bring some very cold temperatures, hail, wintry showers and snow down to 500 metres on Tuesday. Around the nation for tomorrow, Brisbane is partly cloudy and 22 degrees, sunny in Sydney, Perth and Adelaide. It'll be another frosty start in Victoria though, mainly across the north and the east of the state, so this frost warning has been issued. A number of areas will be freezing early tomorrow morning, including Echuca and Wangaratta, but then it'll be dry and generally mild across the state. It'll be mostly sunny as well, plenty of sunshine out there, aside from some clouds and isolated showers developing over the far southwest during the evening. Up to 21 degrees in Mildura tomorrow, 16 there at Bendigo, 17 at Terralgan. Closer in, just the eastern suburbs will start the day with some patchy fog. Then it'll be mostly sunny with northerly winds. A top of 18 in Avalon and Geelong, 16 and 17 degrees in most other places. And it'll be a mostly sunny day in the city tomorrow from a low of 7. We're heading for another top of 17 degrees, and Sunday should get to 17 as well with plenty of sunshine. Then on Monday we have a shower or two, 15 degrees. Then it turns wet and wintry. Showers are heavier on Tuesday, mainly in the afternoon and evening. We'll only get to 11 degrees, 11 on Wednesday as well with a shower or two, and a shower or two on Thursday and Friday. So get out there and enjoy that sunshine tomorrow. 17 degrees, Blake.
If only we could enjoy it and do some more stuff out and about.
Yeah, what are you up to?
Working, so...
You haven't done all of Richmond yet?
I've done all of Richmond walking, but I will not be doing Brighton. All right, that is 7 News. Thanks for making us part of your Friday. I'll have updates later in the evening from the news team. Good night.